views and opinions expressed in this program are not necessarily those of its hosts, Urban Arts Enterprises, its advertisers, or affiliates, and are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of any entities they represent. What's happening, y'all? And as you know, today is Tuesday, and it is 7 o'clock Central. I got to start remembering to use the central part, y'all, because I made the mistake. I was supposed to be a part of a meeting not long ago, and I guess I wasn't paying attention, and it should have been Central, but I looked around. They had it listed as Eastern time, and I wasn't paying attention, so I missed the whole meeting by a whole hour. And then with the time setback and everything, y'all know what it is. Anyway, David Calhoun is in the building. What's up, baby? That's my dog right there. Good to see you this week, man. So for those of you who didn't know, I spent the last 10 days in Chi-Town at home, y'all. Had myself a fantastic time. And why? Because my baby got married. Man, look here. You talking about a proud papa? Yep, I'm a happy camper, y'all. I had a fantastic time. But before I get to that, I'm going to make an attempt to talk about not only the subject matter for tonight is what would we like to see moving forward in the Steppers community? What do we think would be better, or in the IT world, what we refer to as best practices? What could we do to improve and make things better in the community? I want you guys' feedback tonight. I want to find out what your thoughts are and what we could do to be better. In the meantime, while we wait and we gain more momentum and more interest on the subject matter, I'm gonna get personal. I'm gonna talk about some of my stuff. I got a few things I need to talk about tonight, actually. We've had some good things happen this week, some bad things happen this week. Or should I say, life be lifing. Life is definitely life in this week. Let me start out. Let me give a huge thank you and shout out to my people who participated in last week's show. We went to a little place. Now I'm about to hype this joint up for y'all. For my smoking aficionados. And when I say smoke, well, I mean, hell, it's Chicago. You can smoke anything you want there. Let's keep that in mind. But for all of my smoking family, all my people out here who love them a good cigar, I'm about to tell y'all right now, there is a place in Chicago. I don't know how popular it is or isn't, but I'm getting ready to tell you, you need to check these folks out. Valeria Connor in the building. And by the way, ladies and gentlemen, Miss Connor took it upon herself to send me a message today. Save the dates, September 26th, 27th. Denim and Diamonds is back. Save the dates. It's going down. Ha ha ha. I love it. Anyway, I want to give, I want to talk about this place, man. Let me tell y'all the story. So last week, we decided we were going to do, myself and Ambassador Kevin, that was the ambassador. I said, I'm going to be in Chicago for a week, man. I want to do the show on Tuesday. We're going to do a forum with all of our local DJs. I think that'd be a great, great show. He said, that's a real good idea. Okay, so he called me back later on. He said, hey, man, I got another idea. I said, what's that? He said, let's have an audience. Let's have people. Let's have people there in, live audience. I was like, that's not a bad idea. I like that. I think that'd be a great idea. So he said, okay, well, let's make it work. So he had us to, he had a place for us to do it. He had a friend of his who had a place. And it turns out that she had some unforeseen circumstances come up. And he called me at the last minute, the day before. He was like, hey, man, or 2 days before, he said, hey, man, I don't know. I don't know what we're going to do, man. We can't do it there. She's got some stuff going on in her family, and they had a death in the family. And I was like, oh, man, send her my condolences. And he's like, well, let me work on something else. So he gets on the phone. And y'all, excuse me, my allergy. I don't know what, I guess getting back to Texas. I don't know what it is, but it done kicked in because I just got back last night. Anyway, so he said, hey, man, I got a new joint. I said, okay, where is it? So I put the flyer out for those of you who saw it. There is a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful cigar bar on the south side of Chicago, y'all. It's on 111th and Halsted, right at the corner of 112th, called Tap That Ash. So I'm telling you, if y'all are smokers, if you're a person who enjoys, now let me show you something. Not only did we have a fantastic show last Tuesday, the ambiance in the place was off the chain. People were there watching the game, and I ain't talking about a bunch of men. It was men, women. Man, they was in there chilling. They was eating good, smoking good, having a fantastic time. Y'all want a cool-ass hangout? Go check out Tap That Ash. Tap That Ash is going to be one of my new sponsors here on the show for a few weeks. We're going to be putting out a lot of shout-outs for Tap That Ash. That is a fantastic place. Very, and I don't think I'm supposed to mention, but that gentleman is a very astute, very well-rounded guy, him and his wonderful wife. We had a fabulous time over there, and I have nothing but praises for them and their establishment, and you guys need to go in there and check them out. Tap That Ash, y'all. 111th and Halsted, free parking. They got a nice parking lot out front. The ambiance in the place was great. The people were fantastic. Now, during the show, let me first give a major, major shout out to my man, Ambassador Kevin Nevels. Man, listen, that is my dude. He is about this business. He is about doing what he does. And for that, I love that man. Thank you, Ambassador, for everything. I don't think I actually just said to you, thank you, brother, but I want to thank you. I like giving my people their flowers while they still here with us. You are that dude. And, you know, that's my right hand right there when it comes to the inside stepping mobile stuff. He been with me riding. You know, we're going to ride this thing till the wheels fall off. So thank you, Ambassador, my man. Now, on our guest panel, we also had DJ Mellow Chris, DJ Calvin, and DJ Lady Love. And they provided a fantastic overview of the DJ community across not only the country, but of course in the city. And man, listen, lots of gems in there. If you have any questions in regard to what us DJs deal with or what we're going through or what's going on in the world, y'all need to go back and check out last week's show. It was a fantastic show. What I really enjoyed about it, because it was live, we had the open forum. There were people there speaking and talking. We had Rose Wellington was in the building, promoter extraordinaire. DJ Fly Diva was in the house. We had Josiah Burt was in the building. We had Andre Blackwell in the house. We had Lamont Watts. Y'all, I don't want nobody to kick my tail later on for not remembering everybody, but you know. Damn it. I could see his face and I can't say his name. Y'all know how that happens. But listen, y'all, it was a fantastic DJ Vale. DJ Vale, don't beat me up. We had a fantastic time, man, and we ended up being in there for a little while, all the way down through there, man. We had a really good time, and I was really, really, really impressed with it. Jerome Cook, what's happening, my man? Thank you for coming through. Lady Sings the News. What's up, girl? Hey, you need to call me. Call me later on. Teresa Sanders in the house. How you doing, Linda Sanders? And Linda Brooks in the building. Deborah Wright, what's up? I see y'all. Thank you for coming through the building. We had a really, really good show, y'all. I really enjoyed doing that. And because we did that and it was such a success and we had so many good reviews, what we're doing now is going to be a 4-part series. The next forum, and this one should be really interesting. You think the DJ forum was interesting? The next one is going to be really interesting because the next forum that we do, and we have not decided on a city yet. It may be Chicago, it may not, but we're going to do a promoters forum where we're going to have some of the top promoters in the country all in one room, and we're going to talk about it. It's going to bring up a lot of things. It's going to bring out a lot of things. It's going to let a lot of people know where they should be and where they shouldn't be. That's what I believe. I look forward to that. So that's our next thing. Now, while I was at the crib, let me give a shout out to my man Snoopy King. I stopped through his place over there, Ophelia's over there in Blue Island. If y'all get a chance, you're in the city, y'all need to hit Ophelia's on Sunday. Sunday afternoons from 3 to 6. I think it's 3 to 6, 3 to 7, 3 to 7. Check him out. Good set. Really good set. Doggone the DJ Cross. DJ Boogie was in the house doing a thing, and then we left there. And on Sunday night, we went over to the R Lounge. DJ Cross, DJ Boogie, DJ Fly Diva was in the building, and they was tearing it up, man, doing the damn thing. You know, make me miss home sometimes. Really does. But it was a really good set. I enjoyed myself. Thank you guys for the hospitality. I love y'all. My turntable brothers and sisters doing the daggone thing. You understand me? Y'all, I gotta give all these shout outs right quick before I do too much else here, and because it's necessary. Let me see. I know. And this is how I'm gonna segue into my wedding situation, right? For my daughter. Shout out to my man James Harris. Dress to Impress out there on Sibley Boulevard. If y'all are in the city of Chicago and you want to put your hands on some fresh gear and you want to get hooked up, take your tail over to Dress to Impress. Now, there's one on 95th Street, right there on 95th and Western. But the one where James Harris, Footwork James, be in the building. He's there. He's ready. That man will hook you up, have you fresh, leaving up out of there. Jerry Baskerville, what's up, girl? Have you ready to rock and do the damn thing. Hey, Kenneth Jackson, thank you for coming through. Checking in from Houston, Texas. Lamar, man, what's happening? It's been a minute. I ain't seen you. Thank you for the congratulations. We're going to talk about that in just a second. Y'all go see Footwork James. Go see James Harris over there at Dress to Impress. You need some fresh shoes. They got it. Whatever your pockets can stand, they got it for you. And I ain't talking about no junk. They got nice stuff. They got nice cut slacks. They got, man, all kind of fly sweaters. I saw a sweater or jacket that I really liked, but I can't wear it in Texas, baby, so it wasn't no point in me buying it. Beautiful stuff in there, man. The shoes, phenomenal. They got everything, the accessories. You could literally fly to Chicago, walk through the door at Dress to Impress, and come out of there so clean, you don't need to leave. You ain't got to go nowhere else. They got everything you need right there in the building. You can come up out of there clean as the Board of Health and do your doggone thing. Deborah Wright, how you doing? Also, let me give a shout out to the fellas over there at Taylor's Row. 75th Street, right off King Drive, y'all. Had to have my tux cut. Had to have it sharpened up for me to fit me just right. Went over to Taylor's Row. Them gentlemen got me in there, man, and hooked me up. Fellas, you need your clothes cut. You need a suit cut. You need to get altered. You need to get your stuff fresh. Go over to Taylor's Row, 75th, and right off of King Drive. You can't miss it. It's right next door to the shoe shop. You got a pair of shoes you need shined, something you need fixed, you need to go over to the shoe shop. They're right next door to each other. You can't miss them. The fellas, you never know who you're going to run into in there either. Because I seen West Side Mike in the tailoring shop, and I can't remember, I saw a bunch of folks in the shoe shop right next door. You want to get fresh? Man, look, I can send you all over the city. I have you doing your doggone thing. You understand me? Get you right before you get up out of there. Now, let me also take the time to thank, and from the bottom of my heart, I thank the people who continue to support Inside Steppin', the people who continue to donate to Inside Steppin', and to help me keep Inside Steppin' rolling. Y'all are so very important to what we do here. I just want you to really, really understand that. It is a tremendous thing. Matter of fact, while I'm saying that, I need to check one thing right quick, y'all. Let me see. Because I got somebody that I need to take care of. Give me 1 second. 1 second. I need George Peterson. I need your address, bro. I need your address. George Peterson, if you're watching, I need your address. Get that to me, please. I got something for you. With all of that, it was a hell of a week. It was a hell of a week. Now, before I get all into this stepping thing right quick, I got one more thing I got to do. One more thing I got to do. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to introduce to you Mr. and Mrs. Chris Taylor, and I I don't even know how to put this out there. I don't even know how to announce them. But anyway, that's my baby. That's Tyler Forbes and Chris Taylor, who have joined in matrimony this weekend. I am so very proud of them. And here's a funny little story. She was almost named Taylor. His last name is Taylor, which would have made her Taylor Taylor. However, her name is Tyler, so technically she's Tyler Taylor. But then she told me she's not going to change her last name, or she may hyphenate it. So she said then she would be Tyler Forbes Taylor. But then she just said, I don't know yet. So the jury's still out. But whatever she decides, it almost doesn't matter, because that man got her back in ways that, when I tell y'all that man love my baby, listen. I am happy for both of them, because they are a match, a force together to be reckoned with. Just a little bit of bragging on my baby. You know, she was Miss Illinois Earth for a year. She had friends come in, like her brother, my son, he flew in from India. He came in from Chennai to hang out, do his thing with us. Her buddy Enrique. Now Enrique is from Spain. Enrique didn't know English and she didn't know Spanish. Now she speaks Castilian Spanish, and so they taught each other. And Enrique has never left Spain before, so he flew in for the wedding, and his English is better than a lot of Americans, amazingly enough. And her Spanish is better than a lot of Spanish people, so people from Spain. So that's pretty amazing, but they did that together. But she does speak 5 other languages, speaks, reads, and writes. So there's that. Now, between the two of them, he is a engineer. My wife once asked him what was his degree in, and he said, which one? So he didn't do it in a smug way, but my point is that, you know, they are a powerful couple, and I'm very happy for them. They are, in fact, right now, I believe, in Paris, France, and they are on their way to Thailand, and they should be back in about 2 weeks. So I look forward. I told her I need lots of pictures. I got to see what's going on. Y'all gotta keep Pops involved. Keep me in the loop, y'all. My baby is also in the banking industry, and she happens to be a very powerful banking entity, and I love that about her. I love the fact that everything that they did this weekend was extremely elegant. The event itself was second to none, flawless. I had a fantastic time. University Club of Chicago, which is a country club that I didn't even know existed in Chicago, right downtown, that they happen to be members of. Imagine that. Anyway, so let's get on to matters at hand. Oh, and before I do, no, I'm gonna say that for last. So you guys, let's talk about it. Let's have this conversation tonight. What is it that we individually can do to collectively grow the Steppers community? You know, a lot of things go on. A lot of things happen, and we all kind of, you know, we want to do our thing around the community. There are those who take it more seriously than others, but every little thing, I think, makes a difference. You know, there are people who do things that could be seen as transgressions. There are people who do little things that make it better for everybody. There are people who are silent contributors, if you will. People who make all of our experiences better, and some who make it worse just by virtue of being there sometimes. Now, let me give a shout out to Ms. Sanji Stewart. Now, I'm about to ruffle some feathers tonight. Not hers, of course. Who put a post out today. I love referencing Sanji's page for some of the things that she says on her page. You guys be sure to visit Living the 8 Count when you have the opportunity. Sanji is a fantastic writer. She does phenomenal things in regard to just asking questions. Sometimes the questions that we need to hear. And sometimes we get the answers, whether we like them or not. But I like the fact that she keeps us on our toes. That's Sanji Stewart, living the 8 Count, y'all. Now, she had a question. She had two questions, actually. How could, and we're talking about what we're talking about now, which was one of her group discussions, instructor certification. Is this something that could be beneficial to the community? I personally think so. Now, I'm not going to read what everybody else wrote, but I am going to read to you what I wrote after I present the questions. Question one was, how could your city benefit from having certified Chicago stepping instructors? Question two, what impact do you think official certification would have on the community and local culture? Well, I think it would be beneficial on a national level. Now, don't forget, tell me what you think about it. Tina Baker says, I started where the classes were free. And Tina, I also started before there was anything even called a class. The point, I think, though, is that the cattle have left the ranch at this point, and there is a necessity for something along those lines in order that we all benefit from the uniformity and and the ability for all of us to coexist within the dance with a standard of some sort. Because if you think about it, we really don't have a standard. We have what a lot of people come to understand as certain standards, but I think we could do a lot better, especially if we intend for the dance to prosper and grow into mainstream, which if we're not going to do that, you know, it's kind of like a woman whose man walks up to her and say, hey, baby, would you marry me? And he put a little ring on her finger, and then they don't get married for 10 more years. It's kind of like, what's the point? And I feel like that's where stepping kind of is these days. Are we going to go ahead and get married, or are we going to keep playing house? And I think that the commitment needs to be there in our community. Now, y'all speak up. Correct me when you think I'm wrong. Now, I'm going to read to you what I wrote about the topic. And as follows. In order to certify something, it first has to be documented in a legal capacity. First, there must be standards and requirements. Certification begins with understanding the specific standards or requirements that need to be met. These are criteria set and governed by a certifying body or entity that has laid out the necessary criteria or standard under which to be considered certifiable based on the guidelines of what has been documented or registered. Actually, anyone could do it, but most wouldn't and couldn't, even if the desire was there. Let's keep it a buck. Just because you dance well doesn't make you a scholar, nor does it make you clearly understand what it is that you're doing. Now, that is, of course, well, I'm going to say it's my opinion, but on the other hand, I have to say that it is fact, because the simple fact is just because you dance good doesn't mean you can articulate the dance to an individual in the capacity in which it would be a standard. There are only a handful of individuals with the necessary knowledge and skill or ability to articulate, demonstrate, and document the dance properly with clear understanding of its history and transitions over the last 50 years at a minimum. A certifying body can only exist if the dance on the most basic level has been documented and registered in its entirety by someone who would then be considered by law and in all practical purposes an expert. In order for the legalities of it to be considered, said documentation will have had to be registered to the Library of Congress and similar bodies and government agencies which govern intellectual property and copywritten material. That in no way, now let me make this clear, that in no way suggests that the dance is owned or created by any one person. For the record, this has been done already and will be soon released for those who choose to participate in the standardization of the dance. People are not bound by any of this because people can do as they please, teach who they please and how they please. And we all know that that's pretty much is what's been going on. That's the standard that we are at currently. People do whatever the hell they want. Ain't nobody, they know who gonna let me, who gonna stop me. They can do what they want, which they'll still be able to do. But when we start talking about standardization, we're talking about the unification and a standard baseline by which to teach from there. Now, let me kind of break it down a little bit. Let me explain it like this. A lot of people do not realize this. There is a foundational dance with a foundational set of moves that everyone in a compulsory fashion should know. But that simply is not the case, which is partly why sometimes there are people who will go to classes for the next 8 years and not really ever progress in the dance because they're not getting really what they need. They're receiving what's being given to them for the monies. And let's face it, let's be honest. A lot of this is about money, which is where the game got screwed up in the first place. A lot of this is about money. And they're getting all of this, but they're not getting what they need. Not really. So, with that said, I will continue. Well, let me redo the last sentence and then I'll move on from there. People are not bound by any of this because people can do as they please, teach who they please, and how they please. However, if what is already documented and registered is used to form any other similar processes or programs with the intent of capitalizing or disrupting what would be the foundational standardization in an official capacity, that could lead to potential litigation. This dance is for all the people, not any one person. We need to all work to find that common ground within the community so that the dance can flourish and grow. What is coming will benefit the community as a whole and all who choose to operate within the standards that will inevitably grow the dance on a global scale and put it where it belongs on a world stage in an official capacity. Until that happens, it will never be taken seriously. And the fact is, many of the people who call themselves steppers and instructors, I added that part, don't even take it seriously. It's time for change. This is for everyone. The ability to have a registry of certified instructors nationally would benefit us all. All will know for sure that everyone will be on the same page, be reputable, and not just taking people's money. And the dance will also grow. And that was my response to those questions. I'd like to know what you think. I'd also like to know what your ideas are in regard to what we could also do to increase the viability and future of the dance. We already know we need to bring new people in. We know we definitely need more men in the dance. But how do we accomplish that without standards? How do we accomplish that without, y'all know how many people, and I'm sure you know some too. Do y'all know how many people have come into this dance and been like, you know what, I don't want to do this, and walked away? And it had more to do with the disorganization and sometimes messiness. Of course, that ain't gonna go nowhere. I don't care how organized we get, the messiness gonna be there. But there are so many people who have literally walked away from this dance for obvious reasons. What can we do to make things better? What say you? As a matter of fact, if anyone wants to chime in, you are welcome to join me on the show. Don't everybody bum rush me at once now. In the meantime, I want y'all to pay attention that coming up here, New Year's, you guys, we are going to be in beautiful Houston, Texas. Houston. For them Houstonians. We're going to be doing the daggone thing in Houston, y'all, for New Year's Eve. If you get the opportunity, let me pull this up. I would like for you to come and hang out with us in Houston, Texas. That's if you in that, in the area, you understand me. Hey, Wise Cat. Starnia Lamar says, line dancers went to conventions and workshops to learn how to break down a dance and teach it back home. The same can happen for stepping. Absolutely correct, Starnia. Thank you. That is very much my point. Jamila Salim said she is absolutely one of the people who walked away from the dance. It doesn't bring me joy. Too chaotic. See, that's what I mean. And that's something that I think we can avoid. I think we can, I think we can fix that, or some of it anyway. Elamar Lamar says, right now the blind is leading the blind in most cities. Josiah and Drew are passionate teachers as an example for teaching a lead and fundamentals, not focused on monetary gains, how to keep pure. Absolutely correct. That is exactly what I'm talking about. Sharisa Sanders says, a teacher should at least know something beyond the basic. You can't get mad when your student goes somewhere else to learn. Sharisa, on that note, let me say this to you. First of all, when it comes to understand, okay, let me break this down. The basic dance, and see, people think that the basic only consists of an 8 count in whichever format you do it, meaning you will do, a straight line 8 count, a left foot lead, right foot lead, that type of thing, right? Well, there's actually a set of, according to the standardization that I have become familiar with that has been documented, there are a set of standard moves. There are 9. Now, when I say moves, that does not include the, I don't want to call them tricks, but it doesn't include, because there's a proper terminology for it, and you have to excuse me because it's escaping me at the moment. But there are once you have those basic moves down, everything else that you do will easily and almost automatically fall into place. Now, the ladies don't have the problem so much of having to learn tricks, because your lead is supposed to be the one that is putting you in the position to do what they are instructing you more or less to do. But they also must understand where you are in the dance in regard to your foot movement. Now, with that being said, the lead, which is where we're always lacking in this dance, because the men refuse to learn on a larger scale. They don't learn what they need to in order to lead you all in the dance properly. Now, if those basic moves are made, when the nuances come in, the particular turns, the certain hesitations and different things that come with all of that will fall into place easily. But again, since and understand this, one instructor, whichever one you choose, Jesse Roy, he says, who's going to pick the instructors? You will pick your own instructor based on whether or not that person has the information. And here's what I mean. When this thing kind of takes off, and it's going to have a rocky start. When this thing takes off, what's going to happen is, and in fact, there are actually 3 certified instructors already. And I mean that legally, as well as functionally. Now, what'll happen is they're going to make sure that within a particular amount of time, this is not endless, because you got instructors that have had you for 5 years and your dancing won't improve. The instructor's only responsibility is to be sure that you have the foundational dance. Now, they could teach you nuances after the fact, but the point is that when your foundational dance is solid, then you are welcome, according to the way these standards are set, to go and see, for example, Andre Blackwell. If you just, everybody likes the way he turns and some of the stuff that he does, and you go over there and you pick up some turns from Andre. But your foundation is there. It's solid. It ain't just 8 steps. Then if you want to learn to do, some other things that you've seen somebody else do, because see, a lot of people take workshops thinking that the workshops are going to teach you to dance. The workshops are only to teach you whatever move that is supposed to be being done, that they're teaching you during that class. They might want to teach you some type of combination. But the problem with most instructors is that they'll show you these things, like you'll go to a workshop and they'll say, okay, we're working on this today. This is what we're going to do. And you do it, and then you can never figure out where it goes in your dance. When you have your solid foundational dance, it'll be more clear where these nuances fit into the foundation. You can't just teach somebody a move and they don't even know when or where it goes. It's like a bunch of puzzle pieces all scattered out and you don't know where to put them. And that's why a lot of people go to workshops and they get stuff from instructors and then they go home and they don't know what, they forgot about it. Why? Because they don't even know where it goes. It's just something that they figure they learn how to do. Without the proper lead, you'll never do it. And you just spent money getting something that you'll never be able to use. Imagine going to the store and buying a bunch of stuff that you can't use. That's essentially what it boils down to. Right quick, y'all. If you're in the Houston area, in that region on New Year's Eve, y'all come hang out with your boy. You can reach out to Miss Tony Brown Huff right there on Facebook for the New Year's Eve Black Tie Masquerade affair. We are going to be getting it in. Myself, DJ Vale, and DJ Durrell Smooth Greenwood will be on the ones and twos. It's a 1 day party for the most part, but some people will be in the area, some won't. Yeah, but anyway, that's what we doing. So y'all need to hang out with us on New Year's. Okay, anyway, back to the topic at hand. So, moving forward, and Erica Nicole wants to know who the 3 certified instructors are. Sharnice Simmons, Daryl Davis, and the Tick Man. Those are the 3. And yes, Tick was certified before he decided to take a vacation. So moving forward, this thing is going to grow. It is going to become bigger. It is going to become better. It is going to become a standard. Now, again, everybody is not going to agree with it, and everybody is not going to. There's going to be people that listen. One thing about our folks, we don't stick together. We're going to find a way to, I ain't doing all that. More power to you. But what this is going to do for those who are willing to participate is become bigger and bigger and bigger. And you'll either be on the inside or you'll be on the outside. That's up to you. Doesn't matter. It's all good. Tina Baker says, yes, you've experienced that and you've attended a lot of workshops. Exactly. So you know exactly what I'm talking about. I wear what I want. I like that. That's a hell of a name. Says the men aren't investing in their dance like the women do. Women get stunted because we dance with guys who got one right, one left turn with not much else. Now we can't elevate. Facts. Absolutely facts. You're absolutely correct. And that is the whole point behind this, because there is a standard by which, okay, let me put it this way. There are 2 curriculum. One is for regular students. There's another one for instructors. Yes, instructors will be taught how to teach. And guess what? Anybody can learn it. Anyone can be, well, and let me put it this way. It's going to be more work for some than others. But yes, you can be taught to instruct, and you can be taught to instruct within the standard of which this thing is going to grow. Instructors get certified by going through the program that is laid out. And Jesse Roy, you can reach out to me later on. I'll explain it to you and I'll put you in touch with the right people. And you can then take that standard and we'll make it the uniform compulsory standard across the entire nation. And then what happens is when we go to these sets, and believe me, when the way this works, the guys will be on another level with the dance, a whole nother level, to the point where ladies won't be talking about, because see, this is how it operates in the swing out community, in the salsa community, all the other communities. They have this organization. They have these standards. If you think about it, when you go to all those other dance genres, you don't see no shortage of men. It's just as many men, sometimes more than women. Now ask yourself why that is. Why do they don't have a problem getting men, and especially to stay in the dance? It's because they have standards. And I always say, if you stand for nothing, you fall for anything. Sharice Sanders says, I was at Second Sunday at Club Envy and felt like I was learning on the spot. That happens too. And I'm gonna tell you something. When you finally meet someone and have someone around you that actually can explain the dance, not just tell you stand there and follow me, and they can actually break it down for you. I'm talking about to the nth power. Trust me, there's a huge difference. Huge difference. But if you've never experienced it, you won't know. It's kind of like a woman who ain't never experienced it, And then when she finally get one, it's like, oh my God, I never knew. Yeah, it's kind of like that. Believe me. So, and when these standards get set, we have when the uniformity and the compulsory expectation and understandings are there, then for example, let's say you have a class that you go to weekly in one city. You live in Chicago, you live in Baltimore, wherever, and you say, well, I got to go out to California this week, and Jesse Roy over there, who said, how do you become an instructor, is one of the certified instructors. You can say, well, you can go over to Jesse Roy class and he can keep you up on where you at with what you're doing, because he's going to be operating under the same premise. Then boom, there it is. You got it. Now don't misunderstand me. I am not saying that we don't have capable, qualified, and brilliant instructors in our community already. We do. But we struggle when it comes to unifying. And y'all already know that we collectively have problems sometime coming to the table and being able to work together in a way that is conducive to productivity and unity. And I would love to see us be able, because there's still going to be beef. There's still going to be confusion. There's still going to be people, raising hell and causing problems. You got people whose egos are way bigger than their skill set. You got people whose egos are way bigger. They want to be bigger than the dance itself. We don't need that. What we need is people who want to effectively improve the community and our chances at being global and globally respected. Let's see. Lamar says, question, was constructive criticism more acceptable in the past in STEP community? Was constructive criticism more acceptable than it is now? So is it okay for us as a follow-up to help and say if the friendship is cool? Well, here's the thing, Lamar. Constructive criticism, that is a relative sort of statement or a relative phrase. When we were coming up, we danced together and did things. And if a cat did something that was slaw, oh man, that's trash. Don't do that. But we didn't get mad at each other. If you were the kind of guy, and I'm going to use Ty Skippy as an example, because Ty Skippy used to get beat. Everybody who steps have been beat. I don't care who they are. If they tell you they ain't never been beat, they lying. I got receipts. And the point is, one of the things about, for example, Kevin Dockery, that I enjoy about him the most is that Doc has no expectation. Doc has no preconceived notion about his dance or when he competes. He will tell you himself, it's anybody's day. It depends on who the judges are. It depends on whether or not the chemistry is there. It depends on whether or not it's going to work out. You just don't know. And that pragmatic sort of attitude lends toward his greatness in his dance. He will tell you, okay, I got beat today. Let me go back to the drawing board and I'm going to come back tomorrow. If more of us had that attitude, imagine where we could be, instead of being upset about something that gets said that we don't agree with or don't like or has bruised our ego. This is a dance. We're supposed to be enjoying it and ourselves and each other. And when we stop doing that, then it's no longer fun and it's time to get away from it. And I wish people who had a bad attitude about it would leave. I'll be honest with you. I don't care how supposedly good you are or what your supposed, status is or whatever. If you got ill intent or you got a problem with people or the way people are doing their dance and you want to talk about people, man, stay away. Just stay away. We don't need that energy in the community. I don't give a damn who you are. Y'all know how to find me. Holler at your boy. Let's see. Joyce Taylor says the classes should have experienced dancers for the students to dance with, because some women don't know how to follow and some men don't know how to lead. If they have experienced dancers to help out, it would help. That's why I love Donnie Davis' class. We have men and women helping out. I agree with that, Joyce Taylor, to a point. Only because, and the reason you feel that way is because Donnie's class is unique, but you feel that way because in a lot of cases, in a large majority of cases, some of the instructors do not have a uniform process, which is what we're talking about, by which to instruct. So it does become a little bit complicated when you say when you don't have the right people to dance with, or experienced people to dance with. If an instructor is doing his job properly, you won't need the experienced dancers to dance with. What you will get, though, if the class is somewhat equal with men and women, or they're capable of drawing in the right amount of people or the right people based on their ability, you will be able to dance with your peers and still be effective in the dance, because not only will you be learning together, but you will also be properly instructed on what should be done, so you know how it feels. Now, I'm not saying it, it would still be cool. It would still be cool, to have those experienced people in there to help out, but it is not a necessity when it is being properly instructed. There are a lot of things that we take for granted in this because of the fact that things have been done a certain way for so long. It's what you become accustomed to. And because you become, it's sort of like something that's not quite right being normalized. And then you have to try to figure your way back out of it. Well, I'm from the old school. I wipe the table clean and start over fresh. Sometimes that's what you got to do. And then, because it's more complicated to help people out of bad habits than it is to not let you get into them in the first place. As they say, it's easier to lie to people than it is to prove to people they've been lied to. So, when you start doing something the wrong way for so long and it becomes normal, I mean, even I've had to, I'm at the drawing board right now as we speak, because there are things about even my original dance that I now know is trash. I mean, real talk. It's kind of messed up for me, because when I look at people, I'm not one of those. Because see, back in the day, we didn't really criticize people in their dance. Everybody had their own style, and you just kind of, hey, look, he cold. And, or that dude, I don't like the way he danced. And that's just how it was. And we didn't even talk about it. It wasn't a thing. We weren't in the club pointing at people or looking at people and turning our nose up and saying, he can't dance. We didn't do that. It was nobody's business, man. Everybody stayed in their lane, Plus, you might get hit in your nose if you say the wrong thing to the wrong person. You know what I'm saying? but now, because of the bigness, if that's a word, the increased participation and more people around the country who have joined the dance, you got people who literally this is their only outlet. Unfortunately, you have people who really don't have a life without stepping. You have people who stepping has saved their life. Some good, some bad. And so because of that, we have to be very mindful of how we handle one another, which is why I'm always on everybody about making sure that we love on each other the way we should. Don't be so critical of everybody. It's not necessary. It ain't necessary for us to criticize every time we see somebody that dance different than us. That's just how it is. Even with the uniformity of a potential certification, a potential set of instruction that is uniform or compulsory, there are still going to be people that's going to do their thing, man. Leave them be. Just leave. I mean, look, ain't none of us got no heaven or hell to put nobody in. If that's what make them feel good, man, dance like ain't nobody looking. I tell you what, my daughter's wedding reception this weekend, man, let me tell you something. That was the most rhythmically challenged group of people I've ever seen in my life. And baby, they had a good time. You couldn't tell them nothing. And we should be that way in a dance community. Now, don't get me wrong. We got to exercise definitely exercise our, etiquette. But I'm just saying, nobody should be pointing fingers at nobody else, man. Enjoy your life. How my man, hey, Fred say, live your life, baby. You understand me? Joyce Taylor said, yes, I thought I was doing good until I went to Sharnice Simmons. I had a lot of bad habits. She wouldn't let me move forward until I stopped sticking my arms out, and I appreciate it. Exactly. And so, when we go to these different people, you pick up all these unusual habits and these different things, and you got to break that stuff. And it's hard because you've been doing it for so long that it becomes muscle memory. I'm guilty of that myself. And I'm trying to sharpen my dance now. No, a lot of people be like, oh, I'll never see you dance. And then when they see me dance, they're like, oh, damn, I didn't know you could dance. No, you don't. Yeah, well, I'm more, I was almost over it to the point where I don't even feel like dancing no more, but I am working toward improving, especially with the newer version of the dance with the 8 count and everything. I want to be a good lead for the ladies. I don't want to be out here tossing people around and causing domestic violence in the dance. You know what I mean? And if I can't be smooth, that's what I'm accustomed to. When we was coming up in this dance, we was smooth with it. We was cool with it. I got some things that I want to improve on, but don't get me wrong. I'm not trash now. Hold on. Don't get it twisted. But I want to see a clean, sharp dance. Now I'm going to go back to Doc. When I saw Doc's preliminary dance before the World's Largest this year, I had told him before the World's Largest, I said, hey, Doc, that performance to me was probably some of your best work. It was not complicated. It wasn't over the top, but it was clean. Man, that dance was sharp. If you ever get a chance, go back and check out the prelims for the World's Largest this year at the Grand Ballroom. When Doc had on the white suit, man, that was a clean dance. And then he turned around when I saw him at the World's Largest. I said, Doc, if you do anything close to what you did in the prelim, bro, you're gonna kill this. He said, oh, just watch. And not only did he change it up, it was even cleaner. Bro, I want y'all to imagine a steppers community where the men dance that smooth and that clean all the time. And we had a lot of men that was doing that. Do y'all understand how fabulous, man, how smooth, how cool this dance would be, and so many other people would want to be in it, especially the guys. See, when we talk about stepping etiquette, we talking about a man who comes to the prelim dressed like he's going to the big show, like he's in the big show. See, that's the stepping style I remember. I remember when guys wouldn't even put on a pair of tennis shoes. Now I get beat up for even saying that. Oh, man, I'm wearing my tennis shoes. We old. I ain't wearing no. Man, look, don't get me wrong. I know times change. I don't criticize nobody for wearing their gym shoes and their jeans. Nowadays, hell, I put on a pair of jeans. Maybe not no gym shoes, but my point is that, yes, times have changed dramatically, but there is a level of etiquette that we should maintain. I heard Chicken Wang giving somebody the business one time about they said, like, why you let these people come in here dressed like this? You can't go to Chicken Wang. Said, don't go to First Friday in Atlanta and you don't plan to dress. Man, Chicken Wang ain't gonna even let you in. That's what I remember. Now, I ain't saying, be out here, dissing people and everything. I mean, I know times have changed, but damn it, we got to have standards. And that dress code, is yet another thing that it has become. We have normalized cats showing up at the set looking like a damn bum. We've normalized that, and I use the term bum loosely. And, I say that, I'm not trying to insult anybody, but I don't really care. But the point is that if that's how you are, that's just how you are. But imagine how much nicer things would be if we held ourselves to a standard, therefore not even having to hold our peers to a standard, because we would just understand. But this goes, back to, people's personal preferences, and some people just don't give a damn. Helen Smith said, keep it classy. Absolutely, Helen. That's exactly what I'm talking about. My man, Pretty Ricky, is in the building. What's up, Rick? I hope you're feeling better, brother. Speaking of Pretty Ricky, y'all, I got to go ahead and do this, man. Listen, stepping community, y'all, we done lost one of our people. And this is yet another reason why I am so big on making sure we give our people their flowers while we're still here. My girl, Kim Marlene Davis, has joined the ancestors, y'all. I don't know how many of you all know Kim, but Kim is a longtime Atlanta resident, and my man Ricky's woman. I always knew a Ricky's woman. let me bring this up, man. This memorial for my girl. She will be sorely missed. Let me tell y'all something. This is one of the sweetest people you ever want to meet. Always classy, always keeping it together and keeping it cute. And she fought the good fight. And all I'm going to tell y'all is that was my girl. And my man Ricky, you have my condolences, her family, and particularly the GDI family. She was a very large and integral part of the GDI family out of Atlanta. And she is going to absolutely be missed. So, y'all, and this also brings me, may she rest well in heaven, because I know that's where she at. Let me also tell y'all like this right here. We don't know when, we don't know how, but understand this. Yes, Lynn John, she transitioned over the weekend. GDI just made the announcement. I think it was yesterday or today. I found out sooner, but I didn't. I just wanted to make sure we gave a tribute to her on here on Inside Stepping. My condolences just go out to everybody, man. She was well loved in the community. I mean, that I remember. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, those pictures of her in the white were from back in probably 2003, 4, maybe, something like that, where we were, that was at the Academy Ballroom way back in Atlanta, way back in the early 2000s. That was one of the spots we used to dance at all the time in the A. And I'm saying all of this to say that because we don't know when we're leaving here, I do Inside Stepping as a way to archive and lock down this dance, as a way to put the history, the ideas into perspective so that these things don't get lost, and they don't get lost in translation. What we want to do is be able to have somewhere to refer back to say how things were the way they should be, to make sure that the timelines are not muddied and are accurate, so that we understand when I have people on here that are talking about this dance, those are people who a lot of times were in the room of stuff that I'm talking about. Those are people who are the ones who created the foundation of what we do. The ones who have a part in whatever that part is. Now, don't misunderstand me. I'm not saying that these were people who were all together in the same place at the same time. But for example, when we had Sunshine on the show and DJ Boogie, they're a part of a particular portion of the history of this dance. We do this because every time one of us checks up out of here, we take a certain amount of knowledge with us. There are things that I would have loved to be able to pull out of the brain of Ty Skippy. I tried before he got out of here. He didn't know when he was leaving here. I just wish I had been able to get him to come and sit and talk with me. When I ask people to come and talk with me, this is not, don't get me wrong, it is about them. It is about the individual, but it's more about the community at large. It's about the bigger picture. It's about the contributions. It's about their part of the story. They're like everybody that comes on this show, everybody that I talk to, all of the things that we talk about, they are one of those little bitty puzzle pieces. And as we put that tapestry together, we put that puzzle together, we make the bigger picture, and we make it available for those that come behind us to be able to say, they can look at the picture and you can read the picture. You can look at the picture. You know what the picture is. When you look at it, you're like, oh, damn, that's how that went. Not a bunch of little bitty pieces, not knowing where everything goes, like a lot of people's dance with a whole bunch of little bitty pieces. You don't even know where they go because nobody has actually instructed you properly to put those tiny pieces in the places where they belong when you take these workshops. You get this. You got somebody over here teaching the foundation. You got somebody over here teaching you how to make a right turn. Somebody over here teaching you how to do the left turn. But do they show you where it goes? Do they show you when there's an appropriate time for that to be used? Is the guy leading you, or are you leading some woman incorrectly? All of these things matter if you want to have good, clean, fun dances. Otherwise, I mean, hell, we can just, we can keep, doing it the way we've been doing it. Everybody's still having fun, I guess. But, if we ever intend for this dance to become serious on any other level, then we must, at some stage, figure out where the uniformity is going to come in. Otherwise, we just become another folk dance or something like that, I guess. I'm with it either way. It is what it is. Joyce Taylor says, my mom would say the only thing guaranteed in life is death. And your mama is 100% correct, baby. Treat people like you want to be treated, and you can say where you've been, but you can't say where you're going. And you don't know when you're going. You are absolutely correct, Joyce Taylor. Thank you for that. And so because of that, in as much as, and I ain't gonna lie to y'all, I'm a work in progress. Y'all know I like to keep it transparent. I like to keep it a buck, real talk. Even though I have my own beefs within this community, I try so hard. I'm trying to learn to work around my ego. I'm trying to learn to work around my gangster, the old me that would rather stomp your ears together as to talk to you. I'm getting better, It's still hard because there are people who do things that I don't like, things that I don't care for. I saw a post the other day that asked, how do you work around the steppers community with people you don't trust or people that are untrustworthy? A lot of people said you don't. In fact, my answer was very ominous, if you will, because I know that there are a lot of people who I just don't want to be around and I don't care for. But doing what I do, I have to make a necessary adjustment in order to do right by everybody, even people who don't do right by me. Now, that don't give nobody the permission to think they can push me around because I'm still a work in progress. But I'm just saying, I want everybody to prosper in this dance and be better together. That's what I want. And even I have to work on that, and it ain't easy, So I understand when it don't work out for others, but somehow, some way, the common ground that we all walk is on that wood. And if we can figure out how to make it work, then we'll be all right. But we got to work on ourselves first. You work on you, everything else will fall into place. Elamar says, Brian, your DJ skills show you can dance and skate well. Amen. Thank you. Now we could take pride in ourselves like when we go to church. Yes. Continue to share even your knowledge and go to info. Man, thank you, brother. Helen Smith said that's called growth. Thank you, Helen. Yes, I'm trying, man. Look, at damn near 60 years old, I ain't gonna lie to y'all. It's hard. I ain't, because I'm real set in my ways, but I am committed. And I thank my children more than anything for my attempts to be a better person. Everyone is not fortunate enough to have the kind of children that I do. But it's funny how they're becoming the parents and I'm becoming the child, the student. And I'm learning so much from them. And it's because I'm working on keeping my mind open to things, to ideas, to possibilities. And youth has a way of projecting that on us. When we get older, we get real rigid because we've been through a lot, we've seen a lot, we've done a lot. And sometimes we feel slighted because we're like, how you gonna tell me something? You my child. Well, I don't take that attitude no more. And yeah, sometimes I get scolded. I almost got in trouble this weekend for My baby told us don't bring no dang on cameras in there with her wed, but I had brought my camera anyway. I didn't want to get in trouble. Y'all seen that video with me running around and talking about, oh, I'm gonna get in trouble if she see me with this camera. But I'm learning. I'm learning from my babies. You know, my son, he got on me this weekend about something I said, you know, and I'm learning. And if I can learn, y'all, so can you, because I'm one of the most stubborn sons of something you ever want to meet in your life. Sandra Mason, how you doing? What's up, Regina Freeman? In the building. I'm hard-headed and I'm stubborn, and I know it. But guess what? It don't help me to be that way. It just doesn't. You know, you got people who run around here and do things despite themselves just because they think it's going to affect you, not even realizing you ain't going to lose a wink of damn sleep. Just being ornery. What purpose does it serve? What are you gaining from it? Are you growing from it? Or are you just trying to prove that you could be ornery? That's stupid, you know? And I admit, I've been stupid in the past. I'm trying to be better. And I want to see everybody else within the sound of my voice be better too. We can work together and make it work out. But I just don't want people to get confused and think that because a person might be being passive or don't say nothing, don't mean they don't know or they won't do something. Just respect yourself and you can respect everybody else. It ain't rocket science, y'all. Thank you, Sandra Mason. She said, bless you, Brian. When we stop learning, then we're in trouble. You're absolutely correct. And that's why I encourage people within this dance to always remain a student of the dance. If you do that, not only will you not be worried about what the next person is doing, you will improve your own dance. Same as not only will you not be worried about what the next person is doing at their house, in their car, with their people, you'll be worried about what you're doing and you become better for it. If we all mind our own daggone business when we supposed to and stay in our lane and not be so damn harsh and critical of each other, imagine how far we could go. Listen to me preaching about some, let me stop. Y'all know, I'm not getting ready to, I done said too much. I'm not even getting ready to ruin what I just said with what I'm thinking right now. See that? See, that's growth. There you go. I'm getting better, y'all. I'm getting better. I don't have to say everything I don't have everything that come up don't have to come out. Let me put it that way. Rochella Palmer, what's up, Rochella? She say, I've been around a long time and she's continually learning. Thank you, my dear. I love me some Rochella. What's up, baby? Yeah. Elamar says, give flowers and everyone should write a journal and make a will so future generations can learn building our own stepping venues and ownership. Absolutely, man. And that's what I'm talking about. Our own hotels and centers. Man, now, that's what I'm talking about. Now, I ain't going to lie. Let me tell you. Willie Chapman in the house. What's up, dog? I'm going to tell you, Lamar, while I was home this weekend, I ran across several buildings that put me in the mind of exactly what you're talking about right now. And I told Poppy, I said, you know, because we're going to be in and out of Chicago a lot here in the near future. I got some business I got to take care of. But I said, you know, you do know if we lived here back at home, I would have a club, right? She's like, I know. I absolutely would open a club. Strictly. Man, that's a good idea. Strictly Stepping. That's a great name. Don't y'all steal my damn name. All right. With that said, I got to get out of here, y'all. I got to go. It's been a long day. We just got off the flight late last night. I've had a long day. So has the producer lady. That's why y'all ain't even seen her tonight. She ain't even popped in because she's catching back up. Let me see. Let me make sure I didn't forget anything here. And once again, let me give a shout out and I thank you all for your contributions, donations, and t-shirt purchases. As always, thank y'all so much. Do not forget. You know what? And do not forget, y'all, go out to Dress to Impress. Check out my man, James Harris, Footwork James. He got you dressed. He'll hook you up. Do not forget, y'all, drop in at Tap That Ash, 111th and Halsted, right down on the corner of 112th, right there on Halsted. Run up in there and, man, get your smoke on. It's a beautiful place. The ambiance is great. The people were fun. We had a fantastic time, and I will be back. Tap that ass, y'all. That's what's up. And last but not least, fellas, ladies, y'all need some work done on your clothes. Y'all need them tailors. Taylor's Row, right there on 75th Street, right off King Drive, next to the shoe shop. You better run up in there, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Get yourself cut up. Because I went up in there and they hooked me up, man. Had me looking good for my baby's wedding. Yes, sir. Taylor's Row, y'all. All right, I'm getting out of here. I got to go. I love y'all. I love y'all. And Regina Freeman, thank you. And thank you for your support. Thank y'all very much. Next week, I don't even know what we're going to do next week, but whatever it is, it's going to be good. I think we got some stuff coming up that we're going to talk about. In case y'all wonder, let me just put this out there. If you ever wonder why I don't announce what's going on the show, it's because I've done that too many times. And when I do that, I always manage to get stood up by my guests. It's the weirdest thing. Now, don't get me wrong. Like when we did last week's show, when we did the DJ forum, I had several RSVPs from DJs who called me the day before, Cross, J Boogie. I'm just being funny, but they had paying gigs. They couldn't make it because they had to get one. And I tell them, get your money, man, get your money. Rochella Palmer says it's her birthday, December 7th at the Noble Entertainment Center. Y'all go see Rochella for her birthday. Rochella, if I come back and tell you, I might try to come home for you and check on you. Come on over there. And if I don't talk to you before then and I'm not there, happy birthday now. Of course, I'll probably get to tell you happy birthday again before that. But anyway, and last but not least, y'all, let me, one more time, I got to send my rest in heaven. Much love. She's going to be truly missed. Kim Marlene Davis, one of the faithful GDI members, longtime friend, sweetest lady you ever wanted to meet. And may she rest in peace. And, man, that's a tough one. Pretty Ricky, you got my condolences, brother. All right, we getting out of here. I'm going to holler at y'all. Love y'all. Like I said, New Year's Eve, y'all need to come through Houston and hang with your boy because we're going to be on the 1 and 2s doing the damn thing. It's going down. All right. Let me get out of here. I got to figure out how to get out. How do I get out of here? Let me out of here. I can't get out, y'all. Wait a minute. I'm about to put y'all down. Let y'all have a good night. All right. Have a good night, y'all. I'm gone. Peace. I got to feed my wife because she had a long day. The views and opinions expressed in this program are not necessarily those of its host, Urban Arts Enterprises, its advertisers, or affiliates, and are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of any entities they represent.